Hi, I'm Larson Halleck, and welcome to a very special episode of Pick Up Assholes. I've talked about many traditional PUAs, rightfully making fun of them for their staggering idiocy, but never let it be said that I'm afraid to make fun of people that are ostensibly on my side, because I have recently taken a long stroll through the red pill board on Reddit, and Jesus Christ, I have searched for Chad and I have found horrors beyond my comprehension. You people have taken the archetypical thought exercise known as Chad Thundercock and formed a fucking cargo cult around him. I always knew there was a reason why I don't use the term red pill in my videos or websites, despite ostensibly being a card-carrying member of the community. This is why. Because you people have such a hateful hard-on, a hate-on, if you will, for Chad, that you literally write fanfiction about him, resentfully drooling over his washboard abs and giant wiener. As most of you are aware recently, I started an audiobook of Movie Bob's magnum opus, so I'm going to do something similar, a dramatic reading of a bunch of these Chad Thundercock hate boner fanfictions. Listen, maybe laugh, but mainly be ashamed of yourselves. My God, pull yourselves together, people. A bit of creative writing starts us off. Chad was not impressed with online dating. Women get flooded with messages from average losers, and he didn't want to be lumped into the sea of morass, the beta bitches who desperately need online dating. Still, Chad is so busy closing deals and shitting all over his competitors in his day job, he wanted a new and efficient way to get laid. Looking through the profiles on plenty of fish, he saw the typical bullshit women spew out of their cake holes. Don't be a jerk. No shirtless mirror selfies. Be a gentleman. Don't message me about sex. Got it, he thought aloud. There's my playbook. The pyrocetam and phenibut already popping off in his brain. Testosterone surging from the massive workout he had just blasted through. It was time to set up his kick-ass profile. Abs are catnip for women. He loaded his best shirtless mirror selfie as his profile picture. Check. Now my intro, he mused. I need to weed out the chicks who are afraid of sex. I don't have time to convince. About me. Dominant, highly driven, successful man that wants to pin you against the wall tonight. Seeking a petite, athletic girl who knows how to use her hips in all the right ways. Let's skip the BS, honey. Online dating's mostly a waste of time. You'll text me for days, get excited to meet me, then get scared at the last minute. Do me a favor. Don't write back unless you're ready to call me daddy. Phase 2, reaching out. He considered messaging about taking them out and treating them like a princess. His old beta bitch self wanted to acknowledge their beauty. He quickly squashed that thought. Instead, he copied and pasted this message to 30 hot women. Are you tied up tonight, honey? If not, there's something I want to tie you up with. The next morning, 10 of those women had responded. Most wrote back the typical bullshit. How dare you? That's no way to treat a woman. I'm not interested only in sex. He knew the truth. Focus on their actions, not their words. If they wrote back, they were interested. They just weren't going to admit it. Even the most sexually charged girls need to play the game. He continued to push each girl's buttons, writing back without so much as a hint of being a nice guy. He ignored their questions and went for the kill. Every time. Let's meet this week so we can see how loud you moan. Kathy was initially acting like Chad had just murdered her favorite puppy, equal parts angry and defiant. He read between the lines. 10 messages later, she agreed to join him in the hot tub tonight. Remember to leave your swimsuit at home. It's going to be coming off anyway. She hesitated, writing back for a few minutes. Then she wrote, "We'll see." Checkmate. Oh, we'll definitely see, Kathy. Count on it. Richie Finn says, "This shit is ridiculously accurate." Of note is that more than a few of these threads involve not writing, but acting. The guy sort of pantomimes as Chad. Like this website, Becoming Chad, or this bodybuilding forum thread, in which a guy makes a fake profile as a Chad, and is depressed at how women go for him. And then sometimes I imagine skinning Chad and wearing him is just, I said too much. The somewhat less insane red pill hanger-ons advise to make friends with Chad. It's eye-opening. And that seems a little familiar to me somehow.
Go get him, Spike! Go get him! Spike is my hero.
Do yourselves a favor, folks. Make sure that you become best friends with Chad. All ideas and beliefs about most women having self-respect, not being sluts, they will melt away before your eyes. In 3 minutes, Chad was grabbing her titty. In 4 minutes, she invites him up to her hotel room, and he gladly obliges. So they leave, and there I am, all alone. with a pool table, just trying to soak it all in. Simply astonished, again, at how easily highly attractive men get laid. I slept it off, awoke the next day, and I'm back to feeling good. But it was another pill swallowed, a blatant display of the 80-20 rule, and how biology rolls the dice, and some people just hit the lotto, and some people like me don't. There were in fact several of these Chad observations. Chad was a tall black dude, not jacked, but definitely in shape, most likely with that BBC. And Sarah is, to be completely honest, an objectively stunning slam piece with the IQ of a walnut. All ass and breast, no brain. Dresses like a slut. Coincidentally, I went to high school with Chad. Chad? Chad Thundercock? Yeah. No way, I know him. We have mutual friends. Her heart yearns for Chad, who won't even so much as acknowledge her text message. Guess who's getting anal later tonight, and guess who's not? The more philosophical Redditor would ask, who is Chad Thundercock? And the results are not good. You'll never be Chad, never. Chad has no weaknesses. My god, I bet he's bulletproof too. Also, note in this thread the presence of dumb manosphere acronyms like AMOG and AWALT and SMP and SMV. Things that you and I know some of. I don't know what the fuck SMP and AMOG are. But these would be completely obtuse to the normal person. Some choose to fall to their knees and worship Chad. So I've been hitting the gym 6 times a week, PPL with my SO, to finish off our weight loss and get in better overall shape. Today we had to go in a bit late during the peak hours because we go to PF. We stick to exclusively dumbbell lifts. The area was packed and I needed some 25s. Lo and behold, there's an empty ghost bench with 4 sets of weights sitting around it. I wait for a couple of minutes while my SO starts her sets and no one comes over. I decide to pick up the weights and knock out my reps and put them back down. As soon as I pick them up, Chad MC Claim 4 Machines runs over and jumps down his throat about them being his and that his phone was there. I try to explain that I'm going to knock out a set real quick and put him down, but he continues to be a chode about it. And so I put the weights down and grab a barbell for my sets. In retrospect, I should have done my reps in front of him and put the weights back down, but I'm so conflict adverse, I was taken aback by the whole childish situation. He ran back up to the front after this, so I figured he said some shit to the staff. After we were done with our workout, I asked the staff about how to handle the situation, considering the dude did his shit right under the re-rack your weights after each use sign. I honestly wasn't expecting to have to deal with this sort of thing in the Temple of Iron. Or rather, rubber in PF's case. I may have bitched out. Some ask, what would Chad do? Some reiterate that you will never be Chad, for Chad is the wrought iron god of masculine dreams, the castle in the sky for which we eternally strive. A few marvel at Chad's physical prowess with the ladies. And then sometimes, what the devil? That pic. God, it makes me so hard imagining him driving her home after the game, her heart pounding with sexual anticipation, when suddenly he swerves wide to go around the truck, and his Ford Explorer rolls over 8 times, leaving him dead in a ditch and her barely alive, with parts of the frame stuck through the middle of her nubile young body, blood already crusting dry where the metal meets the flesh, her bronze arms clawing for freedom, until she realizes in horror that pulling herself free will only make the pain and bleeding worse, and so she collapses and sobs, her last moments spent in utter agony. Ha 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 ha!
What the hell is wrong with you?
Alright then, that was a very, very, very uncomfortable dive into Reddit's weird hero worship. One might dare to call it a Reddipus complex. Seriously folks, I'm Larson Halleck, and I'm going to crawl under a table and sit in the fetal position for a few hours. And now a word from our sponsors. Hey folks, are you a fan of Larson Halleck and the Barbaric Gentleman? Of course you are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. Do you want to help me out somehow? If so, here's how you can give me money. You can go to patreon.com/LarsonHalleck and give me some money. Or you can donate to me via PayPal, paypal.me/LarsonHalleck. Or buy my book. Otherwise, visit my Gab, my Twitter, and keep watching the videos.